So for this video, I'm going to cover how to make a teleporter from scratch, rather than using the included Unreal Tournament teleporters. This allows for some more interesting uses for teleporters. The Unreal Tournament ones are rather restricting because they are limited to the using the models and such that are included with the class. But when you make your own teleporters, there are no such restrictions. So those numbers I'm using based off of 48 units per meter, and the player character is approximately 2 units tall, 96 units. And what I'm going to do is add the brush a couple of times here because I'm actually going to do 2 teleporters. And Control A is what I'm doing for those of you who might not know. And now I'm going to just search for a texture for these. So I like to use water for teleporters. And the easiest way to find water textures is just to do that. So if I Shift B, that selects all of the surfaces of the brush, or rather the thing, not so much the brush. And there we go. Now the teleporters, they've got a texture. Now for the next part, go back to the brush. And for simple shapes like this, I just like to oversize it a little bit so that what I'm going to do is create a trigger volume. And I'll show you 106, 194. Okay, so looks centered there. Looks centered there. Okay, so I'm going to add a trigger volume. And then I'm going to do the same for this over here. Trigger volume. And finally, before we hop into Unreal Script, I'm going to add a path node. Or actually, I'm going to add 2 path nodes since I'm doing 2 teleporters. Just going to drag and drop them. My suggestion when you mess with path nodes and similar things is to not actually move them with your mouse, but rather move them with your arrow keys. And I like to place these about 6. If you notice, the drag here is 16, so that's 6 times 16. It's like 96 units to 128 or something like that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, and it looks like they probably are too close to the ground. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Now this is all that we need to do for the actual model work. We need to now hop into Kismet. Where'd you go? All right. Now selecting one of my trigger volumes, it'll be green. You'll see the green outline there. We need to right click, new event using trigger volume, and touch. Going to add in a new action, I believe. Actor. Yeah, action, actor, teleport. I'm going to hook the touched into the input. I'm going to create a new variable that is a player. And then going to hook up the target and instigator. I'm going to click the player variable and uncheck all players. That will prevent from one player touching it and teleporting everyone. Now at this point, you'll notice I have this trigger volume selected. I want it to go over to this path node. So I'll select the path node and then go back to Kismet and new object var using path node. And then I can just hook it up. And because I have 2, I'm going to actually copy this. If you hold Control Alt and drag, you'll be able to select. You can then do simple Control C plus Control V, and if you press Control, you can drag these. So I'm going to first delete the duplicates, and then, all right, so I'm selected, here we go. So I did this, no, I did not do this one, there we go. Ah, damn. Oh, the brush. Wait. There we go, okay. So, new event touch, same deal, hooking up the touch to the input, the instigator to the player, and then I'm going to select the opposing path node. Wait a minute. path node, yep, this is right. Okay, so the opposing path node 1 to the destination, and almost done here. I'm going to go back into the content browser, and I'm actually going to search for the teleport sound. Easy way, start typing teleport or just tele, and you'll get that. If you select that, then new action sound, play sound, it will this will just play the sound you have selected in the content browser. Control C, Control V, place this over here again. And now before we're done, we need to go into the sequence event for both touch events and set the trigger count to 0, which means it will teleport indefinitely. And I set the trigger delay to 0 as well, which should allow for multiple players to go through at the same time. So at this point, the teleporters should be working. And I'm actually going to edit the world properties. Here we go, world properties. No sound, 1 second. Oh, now there's music. So, boop. So you see here, the last step I forgot. You'll notice I go through one teleporter and I'm looking back, and I go through the other teleporter and I'm looking correct. The problem is, you'll notice this path node, you see the arrow is pointed towards the teleporter. When you go through teleporters, by default, it reorients you with the path node, so you just need to rotate it. And yaw rotates around the z-axis. So 180, apply, let's play again. This time, yep. And this is just indefinite teleporters. Now, if you want to create a teleporter that only has so many teleports allowed, you can just simply, instead of setting it to 0, you can set it to whatever number you want. At the moment, I don't think there's any way to set something like a teleports per minute or like a teleport rate. I don't think that exists at the moment, but I might program it in later. But anyhow, that's how you can create teleporters using just simple brushes and the like. I will hope that this will promote some better teleporter play, because the Unreal Tournament teleporters that are included are actually rather boring. So that's it for this video. If you have any questions or comments, you can of course post in the YouTube comments or on the game forums. Otherwise, that's it. Thanks for watching.